its uniqueness in ensuring that youth are mentored into leadership, politics actually, political leadership. I found political leadership training for the youth very unique.
Is that I wanted to acquire more skills in political governance, improve my leadership capability, and being able to grow while practicing good politics.
I'm vying as a women rep in the Kisii County in the 2017 election. I felt this is the right place I can get the right skills. I want to be equipped with the right skills, idea and knowledge to shape me up as a leader full of good governance.
So I've always been interested in issues of governance and politics. And at the point where I decided to apply for the program, I was thinking of starting an organization because I realized so many things were going wrong in my county as far as governance is concerned.
And also the fact that I have been engaged in community work and I don't have any political touching or political mentorship. So I believe this was the right platform for me to gain the mentorship and the opportunity to learn and to grow politically.
Its focus on leadership and governance caught my attention. It's a field that I've been in for some time now, and that was of great interest to me.
Because I see I had a knowledge gap. I didn't know so much about governance, but I was interested. So I applied just to get more knowledge.
Its focus majors in politics and governance, which is my area of interest. And I am also an aspirant in the coming elections, so I found this a program of more benefit to me, and it can bring change and it can help me achieve my goals of being the leader of Matungulu West from the next year elections.
So that I will enhance my leadership skills and also to get more empowered in terms of leading people. And the area where I come from, I believe youth are not empowered. Therefore, the knowledge that I will gain from here by the end of the day is what I want to apply to empower youth, which I believe are wasting in the country.
Being in a leadership position, I wanted to get more experience, the technical know-how to manage a big network, and to get the knowledge of how to facilitate the network.
I applied for this program to get skills that will help me in my leadership journey.
Because I want to enhance my leadership skills, I wanted to understand more about governance. And because I have political aspirations, I believe that this program will equip me the necessary skills that I need to make me a better leader.
I realized that it was a great program. It was a program that was out to enlighten me with regard to leadership and governance, and that has been my passion all the while.
Personally, as Mohammed, I have transformed. I have been also given the leadership mantle of this 2016 phase group. I believe since I was elected to the office, I am leading the group in the right direction.
It has changed my attitude towards women and leadership. It has changed my attitude towards youth and leadership. It has also changed my attitude towards politics.
I'm viewing life, leadership and governance in a more practical way. I'm now a leader. I feel I'm a leader. I've gotten the skills. I have developed a positive attitude towards politics. I used to think politics is bad. I have understood politics is not bad. It's maybe that we choose the wrong people who make the bad politicians.
How I perceive things right now have changed, especially in matters to do with governance and politics. Because when I came in, I thought this was actually a very difficult field to work in, and I was also thinking of not really doing governance.
My worldview has expanded. I have interacted with different people. My networks have increased.
When I came to PLGP for the first time, I never had the true meaning of leadership, the true meaning of governance. But through the session that we have been having for the PLGP sessions. That has changed, and I've learned important pillars of leadership and important pillars of governance.
My social interaction, and I've been able to make new friends, increased my network, and also sharpened my leadership skills, and saying that I'm an able leader.
I have been able to build my self-esteem is very high. My confidence has gone high. Public speaking is improving for me. Networking has been also key. And also the experience that I've learned from my able facilitators and my experienced facilitators who have been able not only the training part of it, but the practical part of it has been able to give me a mileage in my campaigns.
I have become a better leader. I have learned a lot. I can now speak in front of people very well. I can easily address various issues.
Personally, I've learned and transformed to be assertive. When I say something, I make sure that it's captured. And I've also learned to find my niche. I found my niche because initially I used to be a supermarket kind of a leader. I had everything inclusive. If I hear a problem, maybe it's insecurity in my county, I respond. If I hear maybe it's issue to do with education, I respond. But thanks to this program, I've learned to have a niche. I've learned to have a specific area of interest that now I've developed.
My favorite session of the program was communication. There was a lot of practicals in the communications, so I really enjoyed the session. Also, I was able to learn about how to write persuasive speech, how to speak, and just how to influence followers.
One has been on self-awareness because from the session I was able to learn my weaknesses, my strengths, and how can be able to tackle them. I've also enjoyed the session on grassroots mobilization because it has made me to be a better resource mobilizer.
Session ambayo imenifurahisha sana ni about resource mobilization, na nyingine ambayo tunaanza hivi karibuni ni about to manage your finance, ambazo zinanipatia motisha sana.
The first session was my favorite session. The opportunity to explore who you really are, what you stand for, to tell your story. That was very interesting for me, and to just hear others tell their stories, and also just to go into the history of Kenyan leadership and governance.
Advocating for change and a good leadership system that enhances good governance and issues that involve the public, issues that are of public concern.
In my community, it has always been that decisions are left to be made by elders. But now this is Samuela young, coming to the scene of leadership. I'm providing the voice of the youth in leadership in my community. In my organization, Bright Future Samburu, the alternative leadership I'm bringing is the political sense, because most of the time we do community work without even thinking about the politics, the implications that politics have. And you know, we've been told in this program that politics is everything. So I've learned that even in my organization, we have to be sensitive about politics.
I have a mileage in terms of speaking the voice of the youth, speaking the voice of women, speaking the voice of the elderly, but at the same time respecting the cultures and just being me without being tribal.
I'm using the skills that I've learned here in my leadership journey as the next leader in my county. Also, I'll be able to use the skills that I've learned here for my organization, because I know as time goes by, in 2 or 3 years' time, Pro-Empowerment Foundation will be the next big thing in Kenya, and it will have the most impact on the women, and it would help the people, my people, to reduce the poverty rates, because that's our aim. We aim to have a society that is free of poverty and a society whereby there is gender equality. What is next for me is advocating for what I've learned from this program and seeing my community implementing it, actually, yeah.
This group was very raw when it came in. There were young people, some of them, most of them, well, about half of them were coming from civil society and community-based organizations. And then the other half are people straight from university or colleges, but they all have one burning thing: they want to be leaders in their particular theater in which they are operating. And I have seen a growth, a real huge growth. From June up to now, they're not the same people anymore. Those of them who've been attending all these sessions that we've had since June, there's been a big growth, there's been a huge growth, and you can see that they are now very much self-possessed young leaders. I must stress on the word leaders. They're very good. Each of these groups are different because in every group there's something that happens that is different. And for me, who has seen all these groups, different groups since 2004, I can see each group has its own kind of dynamics, group dynamics that go with it. So this one, it's its own. When you tell me PLGP 2, I can remember them, I'll smile and I'll say, this was what they were about. So with this PLGP group, I will say PLGP 216, they were different. And yet they were the same as the others. They came in raw, they're living as changed people, ready to do change out there and to deal with the circumstances they will find out there as best as they know how. You know, at first I thought that it was too slow. You expect that tomorrow everything is going to change. But the climate has not changed. We are still the same people, the same Kenyans who are still doing their leadership in the way that we hope will change. But now there's been a change. There are so many people who have come out of PLDP and PLGP who are inside the Senate, who are inside the Parliament, who are inside the county assemblies. And in their own little way, they are changing something, mainly through legislation. And I'm so proud of them, because the legislation that they have passed, or that they have caused to be passed, or influenced to be passed where they are going to change the way politics in that particular area is played. So yes, there's going to be a change. It will be slow, but we are getting there. Like I said, it's almost like the earlier question. There are places where it has changed, but in Kenya, we can never be where we were that time of single party. They have been working, the PLGP people, they're not just in the political realm, they're also in the places where you have NGOs and so on, and CBOs, and they're working there with the people. So the politics is changing. Those of them who are there, they were part of the push for us to get independence in the sense of the third movement of democracy and so on. And they are still there working very hard. So as part of that movement for change, I think the politics in this country has come a long way. It's not where it was 5 years ago, and it can only get better. I like to think so. One of the most principal thing about PLGP is that it teaches you to be a person with principles. A leader must have principles. You must know what it is you stand for and keep to that principle. What I see before me must be what I see tomorrow. In the evening, you must be the same person that you were in the morning. Your word must hold. If you say you are going west, go west. Don't go south. You must have principles. And those guiding principles are what makes PLGP people totally different from others. I'm not saying they are all being successes. There are others who have fallen off the wagon, but I know that because there are more of them coming out and more of them saying, hey, look here, this is not what it's all about. We agreed we were going to have principles. We agreed that we were going to do things in a specific way and change the whole, way that leadership is regarded here, and just change the narrative altogether, the political narrative of Kenya. So I am very happy that that is changing slowly, but it's getting there. One of the lessons that we've learned is that we are on a roll. It was started as an idea that a lot of people thought was a joke, because they were saying, oh, leaders are born, they are not made. We have proved that leaders can be trained and that they can be leaders. Okay? And we have proved so much so that so many other programs have come up by other people, other countries are now funding programs to train young people on leadership, to train women on leadership and political leadership at that. When we started off, we were the only people, Friedrich-Ebert Foundation were the only people who were ready to train young people for leadership and especially political leadership. But now there are 4 other groups that are doing this, which means we must have got it right. Passion. I can say that again, passion and more passion, because I believe that there can be another Kenya, and I believe it starts with me and you, and I believe that PLGP is the future. These young people are going to make the difference on where Kenya is headed to in the future, and that keeps me going, just that passion and that vision.